Hi everyone, Janie here. Welcome back to my garden. So one of my favorite things is finding a new to me plants that I'm not very familiar with, and something that I can add into my garden. And that's what I have today. I have this very unique and what is touted as being pretty rare for those of us in America. For those of you who live in Australia, where this is a native, you probably know this plant. This plant is called a ptilotus, or a Pink Mulla Mulla plant. I just think it is the coolest thing. I was at the garden center and I saw this and I immediately walked over to it, and there was a woman there, and her and I we met in front of this plant and we were just looking at it, and we just could not figure out what it is because it looks like a celosia, doesn't it? At first I thought it was that pink flamingo celosia, but it's not. So her and I, we were looking it up on our phones and we were trying to figure out about what this plant was, and it was so interesting. I had to grab a couple of them and try them out in my garden. So like I said, this is called a ptilotus, or Pink Mulla Mulla flower. It is part of the amaranth family, and the amaranth family often has plants that have really fleshy leaves, and this guy definitely has these silvery, fleshy leaves to them. They are, like I said, native to Australia, and you will see different varieties of these, like the wild varieties of these, growing around Australia, specifically Western Australia. And apparently the Aborigines also had this plant a lot and talked about it in their writings a lot. So it definitely has a long history in Australia. But for us in America, this is the first I've ever heard about this plant. So let me know in the comment section below if you are more familiar with this plant and if you've grown it. So I decided to grab it. It's technically zones 10 and 11, and I am zone 9B. And so what will happen is during the winter, once it gets cold, it'll actually die all the way back down to the ground. But if it stays warm enough, it'll grow back the next season. So it's technically a perennial. It's a short-lived perennial, but a lot of people use this as annuals if they live in cooler climates. But I thought that I would try it, see how it does. Maybe I'll mound some mulch, over it and see if I can get it to overwinter for me. I just thought it was so beautiful. So this guy is going to get about 2 to 3 feet tall and wide. There's different varieties, and the variety that I got my hands on here is called Matilda. There's also another variety called Joey that is more of an annual. People really treat Joey like an annual, but Matilda is more of a perennial. I love that her name is Matilda. I love it. And it, like I said, it looks very similar to a celosia, and it almost has this kind of fuchsia pink color with fuzzy blooms on it. It's just the weirdest thing. How could I not grab this and plant this in my garden? So we will see how it does. It is definitely a trial plant, and as I was researching it, I saw that actually Proven Winners has this in their proven selections list, right? So if you're not familiar with Proven Winners proven selections are plants that they're basically trialing out and deciding if they want to put them in their proven winners line. So proven selections are not as common. They basically have gotten past the first set of required tests, but they haven't decided if they're going to add it to their line or not. So I just thought it would be really fun to try this out in my own garden in zone 9B. It likes full sun, and so I am going to be planting it right in front of my Daisy May Shasta daisies over here. I'm kind of by the carport and the metal workshop. It's this little area that's kind of getting a little neglected, but I keep adding a couple things to it, and I just thought that this would be the perfect spot. So this plant is supposed to be extremely drought tolerant in that you don't even really need to water it once it gets established. I'm obviously going to be watering it, hook it up to drip so that it can get established, and then I'll watch it and see how it does. And then, like I said, full sun. So just imagine Australia. And the thing is, for Australian plants, a lot of Australian plants do really, really well for us in Northern California. Same with South African plants do really well for us. So I am optimistic. I'm very excited. I was reading a couple articles that say it was just introduced in the past couple of years here. I couldn't find enough information on it, but I just thought it would be really fun and it would be a fun trial. So let me grab the camera and I'll show you guys exactly where I'm going to plant them. So where I am this morning is over here. You can see here's my 3 stock tanks that I've planted up that are looking really good. We usually park our cars about right here. This is my Merlot redbud that I am absolutely in love with. It is so beautiful. I keep saying I wish I planted this tree in a more prominent location in my garden so that I could like see it more and enjoy it more. But then I was thinking, well, why don't I just make this garden bed like make it a showstopper, make it something really, really special. I really haven't paid any attention to this garden bed at all. And then if you guys can see, there's the metal workshop right there. This is our hog panels that we've been painting for the secret garden. That's for another project. Anyway, so this is the area that I'm thinking about putting them in because they need full sun, because they need kind of not great soil. They said that they don't really need that good of soil. It can be lean soil, and we actually have not amended this soil over here. We haven't put any compost or anything on it. Obviously, the Daisy Mace Shasta daisies are perfectly fine with our soil here. They are looking, I cannot get over this plant. I love this plant. I have a whole bunch of other Shasta daisies in my garden. I have the Banana Cream 2 Shasta daisies. I have the Spun Silk Shasta daisies. And then I also have some of the Marshmallow Shasta daisies. There's them right there. And they just don't perform as well as the Daisy Mace. I mean, look at this plant. I cannot get over it. And then right behind the Daisy Mace Shasta daisies is my strawberry tree, which is beautiful, beautiful as well. So I was thinking about putting the Mulla Mulla, Pink Mulla Mulla, or ptilotus. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I was thinking about putting it around here. This is my Beyond Midnight Caryopteris right there. That guy's going to get 2.5 feet tall and wide. And then I planted this guy. And this guy, I'm pretty sure is supposed to be that. I'm pretty sure that is a Beyond Midnight Caryopteris. I didn't tag these plants, you guys. I didn't film planting this, and I didn't tag these plants, so I literally don't know what that plant's supposed to be. But if you look at the leaves, they're very similar to this Caryopteris, this Beyond Midnight Caryopteris. It's just struggling so bad. Isn't that terrible? So I think I'm going to amend it with some soil acidifier and some fertilizer today just to see if I can kind of limp it through. But I mean, look at that. Beautiful. What happened? What happened to that plant? So I don't know. Like I said, we didn't amend the soil at all here, but I don't know. I have no idea. So I am going to be planting the ptilotus or Mulla Mulla, Pink Mulla Mulla. I'm going to plant it here and around here. Again, these guys will get 2 to 3 feet tall and wide, kind of like small shrubs. Same thing for the Beyond Midnight Caryopteris. So we will see how they do. I'm very, very interested. I think it's going to be beautiful if I can get them to take. Maybe I want to put this one over here. Yeah, that looks good. Pretty. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, I really hope these guys, I hope they work here. I hope they thrive in my garden because what a beautiful, beautiful plant to add to your garden. I just realized I've been saying 2 to 3 feet tall and wide. I mean 1 to 2 feet tall and wide. For the Matilda, they are 1 to 2 feet tall and wide, usually about 12 inches tall, 12 to 18 inches tall, and 12 to 18 inches wide. planted and watered in. Thank goodness for the hodag. Thank goodness for this tool. I have talked to you all about this tool before. This tool is, it's like a mini pickaxe basically, and it's made in America by this sweet family. And I actually met them when I went to Boise for one of my Best for the West events, and they actually gave me all of their new hodag tools, which are really, really cool. I, of course, still like the original one the best, but this is just a fabulous tool. If you guys saw, I could not get through the soil on this one because this is, like I said, this is an area where we have not amended our soil. It's terrible, terrible soil. It's rock hard, and even the auger cannot get through it, but using the hodag makes a huge difference. So I was able to plant that plant and that plant because of the hodag. That plant I was able to get through with the auger, but I watered them all in, and then I amended what I think is a Caryopteris. I'm pretty sure it's a Caryopteris. I amended it with Hollytone from Espoma, which is an acidic fertilizer, so it should acidify the area. And the reason why I'm focusing on acidic fertilizer is because there's a lot of chlorosis going on in here. Very, very yellow. You can see the green veins in the leaves. It's very small, but you can definitely see them there. And it just, I don't know, it just needs some help. So I'm hoping the Hollytone will work. I watered it in. I will keep you guys updated on that. And this area, like the soil is just so dusty and so dry. I definitely have to do something with it. Plant some ground cover. I was thinking ajuga might be really pretty in this area, just planting a whole bunch of ajuga around it. So that might be a really good option. But at least I got the Pink Mulla Mulla in. That is beautiful. With the Beyond Midnight Caryopteris, this is still a baby. It's still got a lot of growing to do. And then the star of the show, the Daisy May Shasta daisies. Okay, so let me take you all over here to in front of my office for the next project I want to work on today. And that is these stock tanks here that I planted up just a couple weeks ago. So in these stock tanks, I love the combination. It is a combination of purple fountain grass in the middle, and then I have plain blue salvia on either side, which is starting to grow in and look really, really pretty. As kind of my spiller, I have Supertunia Vista bubblegum that is starting to get big and starting to trail over. And then what you guys can't really see is I actually have two sunflowers on either side. There's one right here and there's one right here. And these sunflowers are called Choco sunflowers or Choco yellow sunflowers. And I found them at the garden center. I thought they were cool because they're only supposed to get 10 to 12 inches tall and have really, really pretty blooms on them. So I brought them home. I planted them up in that video. And then the first blooms that were on it in the garden center, they started to fade. And so I deadheaded them and I cut them off, and I have been waiting very patiently for new blooms to come. Like I have one right there. This is what this one looked like. These guys are very tiny. It's just, I'm not impressed. I am not impressed with these sunflowers. Like I said in the other video when I was planting the Suncredible sunflowers in my center island yesterday, I know I'm biased to Proven Winners plants. I love Proven Winners plants, but they really do perform the best for me. They really, really make a huge difference. And it's like it's just night and day when I plant a Proven Winners plant versus a non-Proven Winners plant. So I am giving up on these Choco sunflowers. They are just not working for me right here. And even the new blooms are like way deep down on the inside. They're not even growing very much. And I think I'm going to pull them out. So while I was at the garden center the other day, I found a bunch of Suncredible sunflowers. And so I grabbed 4 of them so I could replace these Choco sunflowers with the Suncredibles. And I think it's going to be a lot better. Now the Suncredibles, they do get up to 42 inches tall, so they're going to be tall. They're kind of going to take over the purple fountain grass until the fall, once the purple fountain grass starts getting big. But honestly, I don't even care because I really want sunflowers in this combination. This combination needs sunflowers. And so I'm bringing out the big guns. I'm doing the plant that I know is going to perform for me, and that is Suncredible sunflowers. much better. Night and day. It just feels good to see some sunflowers in this combination. Those other ones, they were trying their best, but of course I don't think they could stand up to the plain the blues salvia, even the bubblegum. They were just too small. It just wasn't enough. I think I broke that, whoops. Oh well, it'll grow back. Anyway, so I'm glad that I did that. I'm glad that I was at the garden center and I was thinking, gosh, should I do that or should I give them a chance? And I feel bad, but I felt like I was giving them enough of a chance. I mean, it's been a couple weeks and they had not rebloomed. So this is much better. And I know these guys will continue blooming all season long. I know that they'll be crazy blooming all season long, which is, I think, what this container needs. It definitely needs some sunflowers. So I'm happy to see that. That's done. I got one more thing I want to do today. And that is addressing this thuya in a pot right here. So this is our wood burning hot tub from Goodland. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful, wonderful hot tub. And I got all these plants to kind of decorate around it, including this really big thuya in this pot. And I actually bought this guy to go here, right here, but I don't know what I was thinking because of course this is a wood burning hot tub and a wood burning hot tub has smoke and ash and sparks, and I don't know why I was thinking that I could put a thuya that close to the chimney. So I put it over on that side, but then you can see this thuya is just a little too big. It's running into our pergola. It's blocking my rose back there. It's blocking my hanging basket. I knew I wasn't going to be able to keep it there in the long term. So I was always planning on moving it. I just hadn't really thought of where I could move it. And then the other day I was working over here. I was trimming the espalier and I stood back to look at it and I thought, wouldn't it be nice to have something right there? And I'm pretty sure a couple of you said that in the comment section. So I listened to you. It just took me a couple months to really think about it. But let me show you from a different view. There we go. Wouldn't it be nice to have the thuya right there? Right there. I think that would be really pretty and it would kind of cap off the end of the house and it would look, I don't know. I just think it definitely needs it. So I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to move the thuya in the pot over to that spot. Just put it right there, right in front of all that equipment that we have. That is our ratio system. And then also where the hose link connects to, but it's just this empty spot. And I was thinking, I probably should plant something tall right there. And then I remembered that thuya that I needed to find a place for. So I think I'm going to move it, which is a big job, but I have a little cart thing that I think will make it a lot easier. All right. Oh, I think that looks great. Oh, I'm so happy with it right there. I think it looks great. There's not a lot of room between the top of it and the gutter, but there is more room because I can scoot it out away from the house a little bit more as it grows taller. Or if I have to, I'll just plant it in the ground. However, I really do like having that terracotta there because that terracotta matches the terracotta that is on either side of the front door. It's the same style of terracotta. And then it also matches the stuff, the pots right here that you can't see because they're completely covered by plants right now, but it just kind of, everything kind of matches. So I think it looks really good. I'm definitely happy with it. I think it looks beautiful. I am out of breath from moving that thing. I think it gives it a little bit of structure, and I think it masks. So it's basically like espalier all the way here. And then instead of seeing the end of the espalier and the end of the house, that masks it. And then it goes right into the living wall and arch that I have on in my secret garden, which my secret garden definitely needs a lot of work. I'm going to have to pay attention to that soon, but at least we can appreciate how good this looks. Doesn't that look great? Another thing I wanted to show you guys is a couple of weeks ago I was telling you how I had a problem with budworms on my Super Tunia Tiara Pink right here. Yeah, no more problems. Look at this. Isn't that great? It's solid blooms, absolutely solid blooms. So if you see your plants start looking like this, I'll show you a picture of what they look like about 2 weeks ago. That's not normal. If it's a Super Tunia, it should really look like this. Just basically be solid blooms. Like, this is almost too much, right? I love it, but it's like, it's insane how many blooms there are on these plants right here. It is even swallowing the sweet potato vine, which, what plant swallows a sweet potato vine? Super Tunia Tiara Pink does. What a cool plant. So I just wanted to show you guys this because I was just noticing how good it was looking and how quickly it came back from the budworm infestation. The other thing that came back really well are my hanging baskets. I mean, wow, right? Wow. Is that pot straight? It's so funny because in the camera, it doesn't look straight, but when I'm looking at it like this, it looks perfectly straight. I'm going to go get a level. I'm going to go get a level and see if it's straight, and I will straighten it out if it's not. The pot is just on soil, so of course it would be really easy to level it. Anyway, so I think that's going to be it for today. I got the thuya moved. I think that looks really pretty. The Suncredible sunflowers, what a difference that makes. I should have just went with the Suncredibles in the beginning, but I didn't order them from Proven Winners, and I didn't know if I was going to be able to find them at a local garden center, and luckily they had them. So like I said, if you can get your hands on the Suncredibles, grab them because they're such great plants. And then the Pink Mulla Mullas, like, how cool. What a neat new plant. I'm so excited to see how it does. I'm definitely putting it to the test because that garden bed hasn't been amended, but it did say it liked lean soil. So we'll see how it does. I'll keep you all updated. I hope you all enjoyed this, and I hope you all have a chance to get in your garden today.